Thank you very much, members of the press. I welcome Honorable Sir, I welcome Honorable Mzari, and all our team that have come to attend this press conference. Now, as you may be aware, the Central Executive Committee of the NRM has been meeting to prepare for the national conference. A number of activities have begun. The special interest groups are assembling. They'll be electing their representatives for the next 5 years. After that, we shall have the other leaders of the party, the national chairman, the first national, second national, and the 6 regional chairmen of the regions, chairpersons of the region. And as I said, we've been meeting for the last 2 days. However, yesterday, even before the meeting began, some unscrupulous people put information on the internet that had been disqualified. And yet we had not even started the meeting. This information was put in around in the morning. The meeting took place in the afternoon. So I've come really to clarify that I'm a candidate and we shall be having elections next week. So I wanted that to be clear, that I'm a candidate together with many other people. Now, I think I've told you before that when this office was established, it was requested for by the women members of the NRM so that we can articulate the issues that are important to our community. And this is a job I have done very well, and I think that the country would benefit from my continued service. I have used my office to do a number of things, mainly to facilitate policies that improve the lives of the women, the youth, the disabled people. I've also done the work both in the party and in the community. I've worked on schools, I've worked on health centers, I've worked on many, many other things, roads, infrastructure, etc., to ensure that our people have a better life. I was also one of the promoters of the Women Empowerment Fund, which came after the Youth Livelihood Fund. And I just wanted to enumerate just a few of the things that I've done to support the communities in Uganda. First, as you recall, as far back as 1988, I and my team established the first legal aid service in this country. It had never happened. It was done to support the indigent women who could not afford lawyers. Up to today, it's a very big office in the whole country, and it has become a household name. So I'm very proud of that achievement. I have, over time, supported many children, brilliant children who come from poor families, under the Kamuli Girls Education Trust Fund. I think as I talk now, I'm talking about over 20,000 children, both boys and girls, not only in Kamuli, but also in the neighboring districts and different parts of the country. One of the other things I've been doing for the last more than 20 years is the campaign against female genital mutilation. I think there is nobody in this country who has spoken more on this subject. And I began by going every year to celebrate the Culture Day, 1st of Kapchura. We also created one in Karamoja to highlight the dangers of FGM. So I'm happy that the campaign has worked in some instances. It's not as bad as it used to be, but I'm not yet satisfied that it has been completed. But in the process, there are 3 unique things that we did. One was to sell the idea to the government that government should be involved in the campaign. because originally it was a campaign of the United Nations bodies. But a time came when they said, since the government is not interested in this campaign, we are pulling out, or then Deputy Speaker. So I told them, no, don't pull out. I'm going to convince the government to put in money. At that time, the Minister of State for Finance was Honorable March. So I called in my office and said, I want you to create a vote for the campaign against FGM. I don't want it in my office, but let it go to the Ministry of Gender. So Omach agreed, but we also had to get the President to come on board on that vote. So together with Omach, I took some victims of FGM from Kapchora, those who have been damaged by the practice, those who have been divorced because of the issues that happened in their homes. And we also took the instruments, the stones, the blades that were being used for female genital mutilation. I took them to State House and we laid them on the table. I told the President, this is what is happening to your people. So I'm asking you to speak on this issue and be a champion as the head of state. Maybe if as a man you speak, other men will listen to you and say, let's abandon this. And our first campaign was at the border of Pokot and Karamoja on July 1st, I think it's 2007. That day, the President was supposed to travel to Libya, but after he saw the instruments used on their people, he said, no, let me not go to Libya. Let us go to the border. So we went and addressed a joint meeting of the Kenyans and the Ugandans, and we agreed that we should work together to end FGM. I was also working with the friends in Kenya, like Lina Kilimo and other women activists. I did not stop there. The campaign was not enough. We decided that we need to protect the girls. You know this cutting takes place once every 2 years. So we agreed that we need to protect the girls during the cutting season. In the past, the girls who grew up in Kapchora without being circumcised, they would study for 1 year, and during the season they have to run to Mbale. And for that whole year they will not study because the stage has to be in Kapchora. So I said, no, let us build schools in Kapchora, in Kwen, in Boko. So if you go to Kwen, you'll find a school called Kosiri Girls School. That's the school we started. I understand now they have got about 1,000 children in that school. From there, went to Boko, constructed Kotek Girls School, again for the same reason. I also supported Tumboboy Secondary School in Kapchora for the same reason. I supported schools in Amudat. I supported schools in Nakapiripirit. Although first the money in Nakapiripirit was eaten, but when I went there and threatened to expose them, they brought it back and completed the school. So all these are things that I did to ensure that the children of this country are protected from violence of that nature. I also, during the war, I adopted a girl from Amuru. She was called Helen Ange, educated her up to senior 4. Then she left school, but I had supported her. Today, I'm supporting, along the way, after I started working, after I became the speaker, there's a girl who came to me, she was called Chemistu. She was studying engineering at KIU. But she could not afford the fees. And engineering is a very expensive course. So I started by writing letters for her, telling the Vice Chancellor, you will allow this girl to study. Government will bring the money. Of course, the money didn't come. So at the end of the course, they told me if you don't pay, this girl will not graduate. So I paid her fees. She's called Chemisto. She was in UNRWA, but now UNRWA has been disorganized. But at least she got there and she got a first-class degree. At the moment, there's another girl I'm supporting in Ndeje University, the first engineer from Namayengo district, the first girl to be an engineer in Namayengo district. She's called Brenda. she's doing her last semester at Ndeje University, again to support the children of this country to get a better future. So there are now some of the other things I did are to introduce policies that really support the women and children of this country. When I was a speaker, one of the resolutions we made on loans was that 30% of these loans should go to support women and youth, because we all pay. We all pay the loans, even if we don't use them. So we said some projects should be set aside for the women and the youth so that they are able to benefit from the loans which this country gets. I also introduced another policy that we must have daycare centers in workplaces. And I started by establishing a daycare center at Parliament, where the children of the members and children of the staff can stay during the day. Because before that, the children were put in the cars until the members finished their work, which was dangerous for them. So that became the first daycare center in a workplace in the country. And we also made a resolution that all workplaces should have daycare centers. So from that time, we started with the markets where the bulk of our women work, to say that every market must have a daycare center for this. I'm glad now it is the policy. The other one was to ensure the removal of taxes on diapers and sanitary pads. Sanitary pads support the children to remain in school because pads are expensive. Diapers to support the mothers because they're the ones who pay. I found this was a tax which was very discriminative because the women who were spending money to buy diapers. It's unfortunate that after I left, the tax was happily, gleefully returned by the members of Parliament. But I hope one day they'll wake up and understand that they are taxing children and taxing their mothers. The other thing I did, among so many, on representation of women in Parliament, today the committees all have at least a 40% representation of women. It was not there before. And when I became Speaker, I asked the wish to bring me names of committees. There were 22 committees. So Chair and Vice Chair, they brought all men, all the 44. So I told them that this is not right. It's against the Constitution. Can we change the names? After 1 week, they came back with exactly the same names. I said, no, I want you to change and put in some women. Still, they did not. So for the first semester, the first session, I allowed it to happen. I said, okay, I'll leave it for this session. But for the other sessions which follow, we have to change the law to ensure that now it is part of the rules of procedure to ensure that women form part of the leadership of the committees. So a number of things have happened. I've worked for my party. I started at LC1 in my village. I went to LC2, gave the National Resistance Council. I've seen the transition from resistance councils to the movement to multi-party. Participated in the referendum of 2005, where we took a decision, the country took a decision to return to multi-party. So I've been part of this journey all along. So I just wanted to reassure members of NRM that I am in the race. And secondly, to ask them, as usual, to support me in this quest so that I can continue designing and energizing the lives of the people of Uganda. NUP took most of Uganda. Are you aware about that? Was I also in Uganda? There are valid reasons why the votes went like that. And I've spoken about them many times, and I've advised the president about the issues that caused that matter. So I hope that he's addressing them. Recently we had meetings in Jinja, especially on the fisheries sector. He called all the fishing people in Uganda to discuss a way forward, because that was part of the problem. So if she resolves those issues, I think things will be better. There's no money. There's no money in SEC. There's no money. Actually, the SEC office goes where I am. Wherever I am is where the office is. I have no salary and I have no office, no physical office. I work with my office in my head. Now, I've told you that we are all in the contest. So this question of negotiation does not arise. We are all in the contest. I don't want to say what transpired. It's not my business. Now, MPs losing that is my strength. My strength is with the people. That's why those who fought me had to lose. My strength is with the people. Dembe. I think I've talked a lot about the negotiations. I have told you that there are reasons why he lost, and I've told the fishing, the sugar industry, etc. Recently, he called meetings on those issues in Jinja. So if he has resolved the issue, let's wait for the population.
Right, Honorable, we're requesting for the Soka version explanation and the Uganda. Maybe you can start with the Soka.
I think let me just speak in Lusoga first. You know me, I'm a proud Lusoga. Because the Vananga what Kurudisa, Sanga Rukubani Morna Kuradero. Gamwidi, Akachika Kokunti Kaka NRM, Kamaze Banga Katiama, Okwedekira Runaku Sabiti, Air National Executive Committee, what Maze Baganga to Serra Chikoro, Miaketa Regibs tried in a row, trying that Chikoro Agadara, Kubanga trying a COVID, no reachable about Batiam district they would. I couldn't Rinoko Okutiama. Ngaba abamiba b'ekibiina tufuna report of secretary general, tufuna report of chairman, tulonde abakulembeze abanatwala ekibiina kino myaka 5. Mpera ano nga mbako byemunako ebiri dino tubairenga mu lukiiko. Aido tabaitu kaina kutandika lukiiko kusaawa 9. Olukiiko lwatandise saa 9. Ayi kusaawa 8 waliwo abandise ku internet ati Kadaga bamutoiremu. Kyeraliikiriza abantu. So ndiye kubakobera ndimu mukalulu bulambalamba ezira yantweremu era ndimu era ku Lwokusatu tujja kulonda. Akwanti mutakowa nja kusala magezi mbone nti tufuna sente. Ekiseera ekyo Jakyano March nali Minister of State wa Finance na mweta mu office yange na kwanti kwendo vote empyaka egamba campaign ya FGM. Jakyani yakwatyo kenda kikolaye tulina okufuna olukusa okuva omukulu w'eggwanga tubone nti cabinet yona eza kuikiriza vote eyo. So kyetwakola na beda abakazi n'abaana abalumizibwa abakosebwa mu nankani eno twajja n'ebiso byebakozesa okubasala, twajja n'amabale ge bakozesa okubasala, twabitebulinga mu State House nakuba President nti abantu bo byonna nebitutuuka kubatuukako. Ndikusaba nti vaayo ng'omusaadha yogere ku nsonga eno. Obulya bw'onayogera abasaadha bandi bajja kuwulira wakati ensonga eno tugireke. Kubanga kyemutaidyere bw'obanga tibakomola tibakukiza kujja ku nsulo bw'ojjayo niwo osemba ku layini abalala bebasala nabasooka ku layini kale we niwo wuuna niwo osembayo kusina amaadhi bakuboola. So ensonga eyo ngeri tubisabuye. So government yatawo sente million I think 2 dokozikonaga campaign eyo era omulimu okutambwire kuku agandi ekendeera kandi aye kyakomako ekyo nakwanti tuyamba abaana bano kubanga banasigala mu byalo eyo kuba season yokomola buli myaka 2 bakomola abantu. So era abawala abasebe abasomanga ng'omwaka mulala gumala nga ali Mbale yekwese Mbale bamala okusala membali aireyo nga omwaka guzira mu nankani kale nga ayinza okumala emyaka 20 nga akasoma busomi. So nakwanti betuzimbira abaana n'amasomero era bw'ojja Ekweni oda kwagana ko Sir Girls School yetwazimba oje ebuko yagana ko Tech Girls School yetwazimba kapchora mweno oda kwagana mu Boys Secondary School era oda kutuka odago obone bipande ibiraga bujena ko kuzimba basomera agandi twazimba amudar agandi twazimba na kapiripiti yena kapiripiti eyo sente bali badirire abo najjayo nabakanga sente badiza bazimba esomero lyawa era ndi musanze fonti bali kulikozesa n'ekintu kyonna produce nakyogera okufa kwa mbere okuruta nti alina obutabu yawandikanga natusokisa nagula obutabu 10 ogembagana ku FGM najja nawo bwentambula nawanga abataka abalenzi nabaga abakulu nabaga n'abakyala nabaga nga ndikwenda bategeere ekizibu ekiriwo bakendeeze ebintu ebalikola so ebyo bingi byenkoze aye nebyo ndogere ku ebyo mpana ku side eyindi naleetawo endowooza empyaka nti buli abantu bebakolera tulina okubawo ndi daycare center y'abaana bebakumiramu era nasookera ku parliament nibwojjayo empalana eriyo kubanga abaana abakozi n'abamembers basibaga mmotoka musana abandi balwala n'okulwala so nakuba nti kino tukirongoose tewo ekitongole ekyo bw'oba ojja okolootawo omwana wo wajja wakola emirimu gye olwigi lwamunona wagololeka so nakuba nti ffe ano tuli kwetaaga nti buli gali bantu bebakolera tubende daycare center n'olwekyo mpeerano buli bukatale polisi nti erina okuba mu daycare center ekyo kisanusanyo era nkyeyagalira mwino tyakomako ekyo nakuba nti londi zino zetusaba sente zetwewola tuli kwetaaga okuba nti abakyala basasula omusolo bona londi bweba bagisasula ate nga bazaala kyebafuniyemu nabuvuka bono basasula emisolo ku nsonga yeneeyo aye weyaganaka abasaadde abakulu nabafuna contract ezo nakuba nti bantu kyuseemu mwetegeka bitundu 3 ku 10 eya buli looni diwe abakyala n'abavubuka babone kyebakolamu gebatuuka ayinza okuba tusobola kuzimba kintu kinene aye nga sobola okuzimba obuntu obutono ku looni yeneeyo twaba nti sente tuzigabaine ekyo kyona kiri awo tyakomaku ekyo nakuba nti enankani diapers z'abaana isanity pads abaala zebakozesa toliko omusolo era twakutoolaku nga kigendererwa ebbeeyi ya diapers ekendere kuba abakyala nabasinga okugula diapers ezo so bw'otaako omusolo awo otakisinga mukyala ate ndala okutakisinga mu baby so byona twakitoola wayi kyakuba wununo bwe navaayo sente omusolo badiizaako ate nga basanyufu ino aye kansubira nti olundi baida kwetereza bamanye nti bali kundigiriza society so ebyo byeneza okwogera ku bingi byenkoze byeneza okusharingaku nti ndikusaba nti nongere obuvunaanyizibwa obwo nongere obuwagizi nongere okuyiya n'okulowoleza abantu ba Uganda ati omwaka gwa 2000 President yakola bulungi ebusoga kyate nsubira kola kiofisi eno namukuba nti mpana e Buganda yona naliyo eriyo abantu bayo Kampala eri mukyamani waayo Buganda eri mukyamani waayo ayina okuyambala Buganda yona yagimalawo era Kadaga yali ere so ekyo timukita ku muntu mulala ani n'ekindi ndoza mwayite mwizi nti eyali Secretary General mwamiru Secretary General Justin Lumumba polling station ye President afuna obululu 13 wa Secretary General eyalina sente d'ekibiina 13 ere ewugiri so ekyokubiri nakoba hakimu nti ensonga ezavira ku obutanda President nazimukoba gazigamba ku byenanda zigamba ku bikaadu n'ebintu ebiri so weeks nga bire dibise yayita abavubi ba Uganda bona ogeza okulongoosa ensonga eyo kale kansubire bona ngerongoke bulungi ebintu biza kutambula bulungi tamala buza ati ena nkani eri mu sente oba eriyo be nakanti ezira naire ezira naire aye nga nze atambwe ni pattern okuva nga twakagizaala nitugikuza mbona nti nizo omutuufu okolaki okutambuza programu ezi aye zira sente naire era nkobye nti ze office ya NRM etambulira mu mutu gwange niwonawo ntyamu baguma ati yali okuteesa nakoba nti twena tuli mu musiike ekyendizeemu mpera ano oletiza mwogerako nti okobe nti mwabona nti abantu abanwanisa baagwa naka nti kituufu baagwa kubanga amaanyi agange gali mu bantu era abananwanisa era baida kugwa ndoza n'ebyo akaluwa
olowooza abali emabega w'okuba nti okusaasaanya amawulire
ago kakati I don't know where my phone is beetako the SMS media kinabwene ku internet called the SYX SY something like that called the SYD media of course eri abasponsories wakitambuza aye nze mbagoye nti kituufu so enankani ekisembayo kunankani ku bya campaign abakulembeze busoga balikola okubona nti NRM era iguru aye nga kyenkobye nti singa tuyamba natwalawo kire ekyatabula abantu atulabuzibu tiwedda kwakuzibu ndoza mwawulidde nti ekibiina kya NRM kiri mu kuteekateeka lukungaana tabamiruka olujjako ebala wiiki ennamba nga tuza obupya obukulembeze bwaffe obw'emyaka 5 n'okubajjukiza nti emyaka giri 5 tetwasobola kubeera na lukiiko olw'ensonga ya covid era twalondera mu disitulikiti zaffe ne kati olukiiko luno luliko okukungaanira wamu okufuna lipooti ya secretary general okufuna lipooti ya chairman n'okulonda abakulembeze abanatambuza ekibiina emyaka 5 kati gambaga tumaze ennaku 2 nga tuli mu kuteesa wabula jjo olukiiko lwatandise leeti twatandise ssaawa 9 naye ku ssaawa 5 nga tetundaba nakutuula ndaba akantu ku intaneti nti Kadaga mujjemu ne bali omunsi simanyi naani ate nga tetunatuula tetunaba nakutuula kale nze bagamba nti wendi teri anzijjemu era wendi kaakati nze omu ku abo abakyala basaba okuseeberewo okuyamba enteeka za gavumenti z'epate okuvaamu ne extra okubeeramu amagezi ageyongerako okusinga aga bulijjo kati mu ntegeka ezo nze maze ebbanga nga nwanirira obulungi bw'abantu natandika dda mu 1988 nze ndibanange twasukugulawo Federal Legal Aid Service mugimanyi y'amaanyi mu Uganda yonna naye nga twakigenderera okuyamba abantu abateesobola abatajja kusobola kufuna balooya abatasobola kuwuliriza misango tugende tuyambe tubawulizeeko ensonga zaabwe era ndi musanyufu nti ekyo kyatambula mbadde mu kampeni nyingi ez'okusomesa abaana abawala n'abalenzi abateesobola naye nga bagezi nga mpita mu kibiina kyange Kamuli Girls Education Trust Fund era wenjogerera nakasomesa abantu abasukka 2,000 ekyo kinsanyusa nnyo maze ebbanga nga ndi mu campaign eya kugyawo FGM mu bantu ba Uganda era nga maze emyaka egisuka 2 nga buli mwaka ngenda esebeyi okwogera n'abantu n'okulaba nti balekerawo okwomula abakazi bazindira bidde okwogera nti era okwongera okuyamba ensonga eno twakola etteeka erigaana FGM bwe twalaba nti oli abasebeyi benyini batya okukyogerako nenga badokita bali omunsi nti gwe beera muva wa biiro eno era dokita bali omunsi nagimuvinga tugiteesaako bulungi netuyisa tusobole okwongera okuyamba abantu baffe. Saakoma ku ekyo kubanga mu bifo ebyo bakomola abakazi okomola kubeerawo buli myaka 2 era ng'omwana bw'aba nga anaasoma omwaka ogumu asoma omwaka oguddako n'agenda neyekweka embale gwako nalekaddayo eri ekyegeeza nti omwana ayinza omala emyaka egisukka 2 nga akyali mu primary kubanga atasobola kumalayo bibiina nenga nti tujja kuzimba amasomero era bw'ogenda Queen ojja kusangayo ku Girls School, bw'ona ogenda Eboko ojja kusangayo Kote Girls School, Mudati wali naye twazimbayo amasomero Kapchwa Tumbo Boy Secondary School era bw'ogendayo ojja kulaba amanya gange ku kizimbe. Ebyo byonna nga tubikola tusobole okuyamba abantu baffe. Post kyenderabidde gavumenti yali teteekamu ssente era aba UNICEF bangamba nti tukooye nega nti ensonga temugita kangende nsala amagezi nempita Mr. Machi yali Minister wa Finance nemuga nti noonya teekawo vote empya ekola ku campaign eno n'agiteekawo naye naga tugendera tunyole okulembeza Uganda ayinza ogiraba naga nti ate bino biki ne tugendayo ne tugenda n'abantu abasebeyi abalumiziddwa mu ntegeka ezo abakoseddwa abalembala n'ebirala ne tugenda ebintu byebakozesa ebyuma ebiso n'ebintu ebirala nga nti sebo abantu bino bakolesa tusaba gwe ng'omusajja yogere ku nsonga eno kati nakkiriza ne tugenda ku border Pokot ne Uganda nalonkinga campaign eyo esobole okutambula mu ggwanga yonna nga bwe ngamba waliwo byakendamu tebinakendeera naye at least waliwo ebyatambula kati ne mu baana ng'ogyeko abaana bato wali abaana besomeseza bawerako nga waliwo engineer chemistry wa Sebeyi yajja okundaba nga ndi speaker nga talina ssente za kusoma degree ya engineering ate nga amala okwewandiisa nesooka newandikira vice chancellor nti omwana muleka asome gavumenti ejja kusasula emyaka negiggwako nga tesasudde nakugaa nti wotosasule tojja ku graduatinga nakomawo netola ssente nemusasulira ate yafuna first class yali mu unirura naye kati babagabaga sinamanya waali naye yali mu unirura. Omwana omulala gwendiko kati bamuyita Brenda naye engineer asooka ena mayinva omuwala omanyi abaana b'omuzinga nabo tebasoma alinda gye university ali mu semester esembayo naye musasulidde era n'abaana abalala bangi naye jagadde balaga bino bwe gyenkoze mu ofisi yange. Ntambudde ne pattern okuva mu ntandikwa nasookera mu LC1 ku kyalo kyange embulamuti nengenda ku LC2 nengendaga nenya NRC tutambudde ffenna mu bya transition okuva mu resistance council okudda mu movement tuvudde mu movement tukoze referendum tufuna multi-party politics nali amukwaba batambula mu Uganda okwogera n'abantu ku nsonga ya multi-party ne bagikiriza ne tuyoka tuddamu so wonna ntambudde ne NRM sibalingangako okugenda wantu walala wonna so andoza mvungu polisi nyingi zetwaleetawo mu gundi museeke ezafuuka programs za gavumenti era nsuubira nti singa mumpadde omukisa okudda okwongera okukola emirimu gino era tujja kwongeramu ebirungo tulabe nti ebintu bitambula. So wadde ebibuuzo Hakimu yabuuzizza nti ebusoga omwaka guli twakola bulungi mu kulonda nti kakati kinabeera kitya nemugamba nti NUP tewamba Busoga yokka ewamba ne Buganda. Nze sinze nali Buganda waliwo bachairman baayo Central yaliyo chairman ne Buganda region naye yalina chairman naye era nekibeerawo so temuteeka ku muntu omu. Kati tambadde nabuuza nti ofisi erimu ssente nga nti teri ssente kuma n'abuuza nti waliwo okutegeeragana nenga nti tewali kutegeeragana ffenna tuli mu nsiike. Nti abakiise abaagwa mu primaries nebaga nti ago maanyi gange, amaanyi agali gali mu bantu. So anwanyisa